Hello? Is anyone there?
Anywho, you want to build a computer?
Sure. Alex is back and
Undead.
yeah, you got some ketchup there.
It was a meal, it was cheap, man. I had to rush to get here.
So today's build is actually gonna be kind of fun because what did we do here?
We 3D modeled and 3D printed a coffin case. We're gonna be making a sleeper build today.
Now, 3D modeled, I think, is generous. You kit bashed the two things together for this build, but this coffin actually came out pretty cool. Inside, that's where the PC is gonna go. Now, I was able to put a primer coat on this. I did not have time to paint the whole thing to kind of look like wood. I was able to do the front here. You sent me the files on Thursday. I 3D printed them on Friday. I assembled everything on Saturday, painted it on Sunday, and today's Monday, and we're finally building the PC. So it's a little rushed, but I have a surprise for you. I'm gonna try to make this wood that I painted look like real wood.
Yes, you should.
I don't know if I'm gonna
Yeah,
pull
it doesn't
off.
look that good right now, so.
Yeah, I know. I did my best. But I learned how to airbrush and make it look like knots, so.
Better than I could have done, honestly, so. Don't know why I'm talking my smack.
All right, tell me, what are we putting in this build?
So today we are doing a sub $1,000 build, which is crazy. But we are rocking with a Ryzen 7 8700G, so we have onboard graphics, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, a terabyte storage drive, and then all in a mini ITX form factor. So should fit nice and snug in our little case there.
Now, this is actually a pretty impressive CPU because of the integrated graphics. You can play a good amount of games at 1080, all in all, for a small form factor build without a discrete GPU. Not a bad setup.
No, definitely, yeah.
What do you want to play on it?
There's that one vampire game.
Yeah, okay.
Got my friends in it.
Yeah, that fits, yeah. Perfect. You can hang on to your coffin here. I'm gonna take the lid. I'm gonna see if I can paint this up to make it look a little bit better. Good luck.
Yay, let's do it. All right, ghouls and gamers, it is time to get into it. So this is a pretty straightforward build. I mean, we don't have the discrete GPU, we don't have crazy amount of storage space, crazy lighting or anything, so should take us like 2 seconds. Classic, let's get started with our motherboard here. I always forget how small mini ITXs are until I start building with them because I'm a diehard ATX fan, so I don't do these small form factors a lot, but the coffin was just speaking to me, so. Cool thing about the 8700G, like not a lot of the CPUs nowadays are coming with the stock cooler, so this one's really nice. It helped us keep our price a little bit lower, and the height of the cooler should not interfere with the depth of our case, so that should be good as well. That beautiful 8700G. Boom. My favorite, pre-applied thermal paste. Yeah. Boom. Cannot make cooler mounting any easier. Boom. This is a frightening good deal, like frightening. My favorite thing about the A&D stock coolers is that you can route the fan cable between the actual heatsink and the screws that you use to like mount it in, and then it just makes the cable look nice and tidy. Who doesn't love that? Throw in our RAM right here. Nice and easy. Perfect. Inland, our favorite brand, my favorite brand. Almost all of my storage drives I have ever bought has been Inland, and that's not even because I work at Microcenter, it's because they're good prices and the speeds are very comparable to any others. So if you're doing a budget build, just like that, don't forget to peel off your thermal pad thing. Proper terminology. Boom. Just like that, we have our motherboard, CPU, and storage drive installed, so pop open this coffin and let's get cracking. All right. So, time to moment of truth. Do my holes line up? Yes. Yes, I know how to use scaling. Great thing about this, only 4 screws to mount it in. Spooky. Ooh. It's in. It fits. Yeah, I know Jordan was going, he's gonna show a little bit more about his process of putting together my 3D model. But yes, I did just take, I found on Thingiverse like a mini ITX. We threw the model into Blender, to each their own, and then we just built the coffin shape around it, and it worked. The only thing Jordan was telling me, I should have maybe taken my engineering skills a little bit further than I did, but we'll see how the cable management goes, because as you can see, I did not leave any room behind the motherboard mounting plate to do any type of cable management, but since we're really only running motherboard and CPU header, like there's not too many cables to manage there. So, rocking out with this Corsair 750 watt. Since we're not running a dedicated GPU or anything, we don't need to factor in the power consumption of that, so 750 watt is going to be ample for the CPU and motherboard, and if you wanted to add storage drives, you could, but shoot. The simpler the better, but look how cute. Oh, I honestly forget how cute SF power supplies are. Perfect. Not too much you can mess up on these power supplies, these SF ones anyway, because the part that plugs into the power supply is a different size than what's gonna go into your motherboard or your CPU. A lot of times as a service tech, I see, you'd be surprised what, where people plug some cables in, but it's like Legos, right? Building blocks, something. Anyhow, shove that in there till you get a good click. Remember early on into me working at Microcenter, I started doing some builds, and I had not really been introduced to a lot of the power supplies that actually pull the motherboard cables off to two separate connections. So I thought that I was having a really bad run of like 5 dead power supplies, but it turns out I was just not plugging in all of the cables. So if your stuff ever doesn't turn on, just the IT solution is unplug, replug. So. And you know, again, such a good engineer, we don't even need to screw this power supply in. Just kidding. Kinda have to. Nice. And a little twisty. Motherboard is in. Like that. Just do a little bit of manipulation there on the cables. Cleanest thing you'll ever see. Just realize that just makes the builds done. Video's over, bye y'all. Just kidding. That's basically it. I mean, like that mini ITX build, how much faster could it be, right? I will show you guys one cool thing that I crafted up in my lab. So obviously, custom case, 3D printed case, we don't have any of the like IO panels or anything that would go on your standard case, which would include like power button, reset button, audio jack, whatever. You don't need any of that except for your standard old power button. So I used a little bit of my thinking skills there, and standard power supply or power switch buttons on a computer case is just a momentary switch. It just bridges a connection between the like positive and negative. So get yourself a little momentary switch like this. When we click the button, it grounds our 2 wires here, tells the motherboard to turn on, and that is that. So it's the same thing as if you were like jumping it with a screwdriver, just those 2 power pins. You don't need the power LED plus or minus, anything like that, or reset. So back to the basics. Cool. Wow, that's done. Just like that. Jordan took my front panel.
So I just used our UV printer. This is the CET Color Q6500. This is really cool because it can print on any material, glass, wood, metal, or a 3D printed coffin cover. So I did a test, and I didn't really measure it very good. So I'm going to reprint this so it looks a little bit better.
The vampire did not concern herself with making the HDMI and power button fit when I was designing this case, so we're going the Dremel route. Favorite tool, safety protection here. If I plug my HDMI cable in, the cable itself is a little bit too wide to fit properly, so I'm just gonna kind of make like a notch on the side. Oh yeah. As snug as a bug in a rug. It's like I modeled it like that. I didn't have to Dremel that, so cool. HDMI fits now. My original design concept for this case was to be able to push the door of the coffin open to turn the computer on and then lift it up to to show the inside, but that ain't gonna work. So what we're gonna do instead is just Dremel a hole in the side right here for the power button. It's just easy access and I don't have to worry about how the door is gonna actually sit on the case. So, and also my momentary switch does not have a very long cord on it by any means, so I just have to drill in the side of the case that it has reach too. So, awesome thing about this switch is it did come with a washer and a nut, so I can just make my hole and mount it in the case, and it's good. So. All right, final Dremel was done. We just gotta shove the button in there and get our little nut, and then it will sit nice and tidy. So, just like that, boom. We've got everything mounted in there, the hole drilled on the side for my HDMI cable, and power button on the side. So one thing's missing, man. I don't have a door.
Okay, so I finally finished. This took me way longer than it should have. So this is, and you can see it on the light here, this is the door that I painted. I'm still learning. I'm gonna get better, I promise. But I took the UV printer.
Whoa.
What do you think? How's that look?
Definitely a lot better. A lot more detailed than yours. Yours is cute, I like it.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
But now it's an actual coffin PC. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So I wanna talk about this for a minute. Usually when we do these projects, these 3D print projects, I always print spares because things always go wrong. Yeah. We make a lot of mistakes here. But I wanna talk about some of what we did for this, because the assembly on this guy, what I did was I took these individual parts, I kind of taped them all together and lined them up, and then I took a soldering iron and I did PLA welding, which is actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. It's my first time doing it, but you just take a soldering iron and literally drag it over the seam. It's the only thing holding this together. So for the process, PLA welding, I took plastic wood, filled the gaps, let it dry overnight, and then I sanded it, painted it with black primer, and that's all I was able to do on the physical body. But then this guy, I took some masking tape to sort of make some of the lines, and I also cut out holes for the knots. And I actually tried to airbrush them all in. So I attempted to go for realistic, but I think this looks way better. What do you think? How do you like your new coffin?
I love it. I really want to take a nice little sleep in it.
I don't think you're gonna fit in there. Or you turn into a bat.
Into a Batman.
Yeah, okay.
Hang upside down.
All right, there's one last thing to do.
Yeah.
Let's see if she posts. All right. I'll let you do the honors. I'll hold this in place.
Oh shoot, my switch works.
Look at that. All right, so we definitely have to cut out a hole for the power cable. Do not keep your power cable like this at all. And definitely, I think we need to do a V2 of this case.
Yeah.
I think you've learned a little bit about some of the design elements that are needed.
I'm always learning. Don't know something until you learn it,
Okay, there we go. Good job, Dracula.
Yay, great airflow.
Actually, yeah, so the alignment's actually pretty good on the hole there. So you're still getting airflow in here, a little bit of outlet over there.
Yeah, and we face the power supply fan out too, so it's at least not blowing directly into the plastic, but.
Yeah, we did it the smart way.
Yeah, yay.
So what do you think?
I think that's pretty good. Hopefully it's posting. I want to play some vampire games.
All right, we're gonna see if we can get this running and get Vampire Survivors on there. From everyone here at Microcenter, have a happy Halloween.
And very safe one too.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget safety first. Even vampires wear their safety glasses when they're dremeling a 3D printed coffin. And if you want to do a project like this, stop by your local microcenter. We have everything you need. If you don't have a microcenter near you, then be sure to comment #IWantAMicrocenter.
Near me.